consumerism is going to impact the entire healthcare industry in a big way. So not surprisingly, being the largest healthcare network in the United States, it impacts everything we do. So we see about 200 million consumer touch points through our network every year. And that's a big number. So we touch a very large portion of the US population through all the transactions that we do. We see consumers in the doctor's office, in the hospital, in pharmacies, in the lab transactions. And we also send them their statements, their EOBs, the explanation of benefit statements from the payer. And we collect payments from them. So we touch the consumer in so many different ways in all the things that they do with the health system. They might not always know it, that it's Emdeon doing it, but we are quite pervasive. So given all those touch points, the consumerism, the growth in consumerism is going to impact our business significantly. We think there are a lot more use cases that we can now address with our data and with our network that are more targeted at empowering the consumer and not just empowering the providers and payers and the institutional stakeholders. Data is the lifeblood of our business. We generate data with every transaction, and we have, some might say, no shortage of data. We are data rich, and we are always looking for more data because our data is not complete. I think the challenge for us and for a lot of folks in the industry is being able to integrate that data. The healthcare industry has grown up in silos, which means that the payer IDs are different, the IDs used by providers to identify patients are different, and so on. So just being able to uniquely identify a patient, to be able to integrate their data across different care settings is a challenge. So there are a number of tools that can help us do that, but in healthcare, with the sensitivity of the data, even if you have a 0.01% error rate, that is really thousands or millions of patients. So you have to be extremely careful how you integrate that data, and that I think is one of the significant challenges. Consumerism is one of the most exciting things to be happening to the healthcare industry. And it is forcing a lot of changes that policy over the years has not been able to drive, and that a lot of other measures that people thought might work couldn't get done. So I'm very optimistic that the involvement of the consumer in decision making is going to help them better represent their priorities and better understand their choices, and then better manage how they consume healthcare. Because the one-size-fits-all model really doesn't apply in healthcare as much as the current constraints around the employer-driven plans forces people to fit into a one-size-fits-all model. Right? The number of plans you have choices between are limited, and within those plans, what you can do is also limited. So I think empowering the patient, the consumer, with information that helps them prioritize their needs, understand their choices, and then act on those choices and be more engaged in their care is a fantastic trend in the healthcare industry. We hope to really play a big role in that, not by directly necessarily reaching out to the consumer in each case, but to help our institutional customers, the payers, the providers, pharmacies, be able to serve their consumers better in the process.